Well, a good evening to all pro wrestling fans of all shapes and sizes from all around the world. Welcome to another live pro wrestling talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. It is Sunday night. July 27th of 2025. Hope everybody has had a good weekend. It's actually raining, storming right now in my area, but we are here. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. Shout outs to those that went to GalaxyCon. I didn't go this year, but for those that went, hope everybody had a fun time. But yeah, got back from Charlotte late, well, technically early this morning. Went to the Ashe Wrestling 10 show, which was a really enjoyable show, which it's up and available on their YouTube and Twitch. So for those that didn't get a chance to check that out, they should definitely check that out. Okay, but on to what's on the menu for tonight's live stream. Pro wrestling tournament season. Got a continuation of 1 and 2 that just started. So, gonna go over the current standings of the New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax 35, and going to go over the standings of 2 tournaments that just started with the Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling's Tokyo Princess Cup 12 and World Wonder Ring Stardom's 5-Star Grand Prix. Now, before I begin, I wanted to take this time to give a special shout out to Mayu Iwatani, and I want to dedicate this live stream to Mayu Iwatani's father, who unfortunately she had confirmed through a post that she made that her father has passed away. So, Mayu is someone that I did get a chance to meet last year in New Jersey for the Spark Joshi show, which was a great show. And I'm sure possibly going through a hard time. You know, it's not easy losing a loved one. So, just want to give a shout out to Mayu Iwatani. My condolences and prayers lifted up for you and your family on the passing of your father. And I know got the Star Grand Prix coming up, but if you got to take the time off that you need to take the time off, do it. This is bigger than any tournament. Plain and simple as that. So, like I said, I know it's not easy dealing with the loss of a loved one. So, if need be, please take all the necessary time off you need. And main thing is, I just hope you and your family will be all right, and going through this process of mourning, and just my condolences and prayers lifted up for you, for your father. But yeah, I want to dedicate this live stream to Mayu Iwatani's father. Well, let's have ourselves an awesome live stream. Let's do it. Okay. First off, let's go ahead and dive into the G1 Climax 35. Um, this will be the current standings after after today. They had some matches today, and I have to say it's been quite an interesting tournament so far. Um, let's see. Let me go ahead and get my spreadsheet up so I can share this with y'all. Okay. But yeah, as the G1 Climax 35 kicked off a good while ago, you know, it's been at least a good week, and the competition has definitely been interesting, been very interesting. But let's go ahead and let's go over these current standings. As usual, we'll start with the A block. Y'all ready? Let's do it. Okay. Starting off with the A block. Okay. Right now for the A block, sitting at the bottom with a measly 1-4 record, 2 points total. Oh man, it's the leader of Bullet Club War Dogs, David Finley. Wow, not a good start for him. And you can definitely see the frustrations from David Finley, especially within the last 2 matches that he lost. But he has the 1 victory over Sonata and 4 losses to Hiroshi Tanahashi, Taichi, Ryohei Oiwa, and Callum Newman. Oof. Oof. Well, he's not completely out of it yet, but he needs to start winning. I mean, of course, we know it's the top 3 from each block that'll advance, but he's really got to start winning ASAP. Yeah, he's got to start winning ASAP. Misfit, welcome to the stream. My boy Yoda Suji might actually do it. He's in great shape right now. Really great shape. Not like David Finley, because he's in terrible shape right now with 2 points on a 1-4 record. Okay, we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 competitors with 4 points on 2 and 3 records. So just a slight bit better. They are Hiroshi Tanahashi, Taichi, Callum Newman, and Sonata. Let's take a look at Sonata. Victories over Taichi and Evil, which that match with Evil, that was quite an interesting match. But 3 losses to Bolton Oleg, Yoda Tsuji, and David Finley. So, a little, like I said, a little bit better than David Finley, but not saying too much right now. All right. Callum Newman, the Prince of Pace, also 2 and 3 record, 4 points. He's got victories. I mean, he's got some big victories over both David Finley and Hiroshi Tanahashi, but suffered 3 losses to the hands of Yuya Uemura, Ryohei Oiwa, and Evil, which I was really hoping he would beat Evil. He hung in there. Well, I mean, they had to cheat like crazy to beat him, but he hung in there. He definitely hung in there. All right, next up, Taichi. Taichi, 2 and 3 victories over Yuya Uemura and David Finley, but losses to Hiroshi Tanahashi, Evil, and Sonata. And he came really close to beating Tanahashi. It was a good match. It was a really good match, but he came up just a little bit short. But don't count Taichi out. I still have a feeling that Taichi might really push the narrative to make it to the top 3 out of this block. So, we'll see. We'll see, but I wouldn't count him out just yet. And then Mr. Ace President Hiroshi Tanahashi, 2-3, victories over Taichi and David Finlay, but losses to Bolton Oleg, Ryohei Oiwa, and Kellum Newman. Wow, those are some pretty big losses. I mean, 3 losses to the much younger talent. So, man, that definitely says something. But, I mean, hey, it's Tanahashi's last G1, so not going to be too critical. All right. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 competitors with 6 points apiece with 3-2 records. They are Heatstorm, Yuya Uemura, Bolton Oleg, Ryohei Oiwa, and Evil. Let's take a look at Evil, the leader of House of Torture. 3-2 record, victories over Taichi, Yota Tsuji, and Kellum Newman. But 2 losses to Sonata and Yuya Uemura, which I was really happy that Yuya got that win. That was very satisfying. All right, Ryohei Oiwa from TMDK, 3-2. Some pretty big victories. So victories over David Finlay, Kellum Newman, and Hiroshi Tanahashi. So he's off to a pretty solid start. I mean, he lost to Bolton Oleg and Yota Tsuji, but Ryohei Oiwa might turn some heads. Might surprise some folks. I'm just saying. Dude is having a pretty good tournament so far. I don't hate it. All right, Bolton Oleg, the current never openweight champion. 3-2. Victories over Sonata, Ryohei Oiwa, and and Tanahashi. Wait, that should be green. What am I doing? Let me fix that. Yeah, that should be green. So yeah, victories over Tanahashi, Ryohei Oiwa, and Sonata. But 2 losses to Yuya Uemura and Yota Tsuji. Put up a really good fight against Yuya Uemura and also against Yota Tsuji as well. I mean, just really... Bolton Oleg has really been leveling up more and more. And who knows? He might push the envelope for making top 3 out of the block. You never know. Misfit says, might need your help when it comes to the 5 stars so I know who is eliminated so I can update my spreadsheet when it becomes for that. Yeah, I got you covered. Yeah, we'll do. Will do. No problem. All right. Okay, that was Bolton Oleg. Yuya Uemura, Heatstorm, Yuya Uemura, 3-2 as well. Victories over Bolton Oleg, Kellum Newman, and Evil. 2 losses to Yota Tsuji and Taichi. But yeah, Yuya's also having a pretty good tournament as well. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay. That everybody? Yeah, that's everybody. And then, sitting at the top of the A block, with 8 points total, with a record of 4-1, is Yota Tsuji. Mr. Gene Blast himself, with the $1 million smile, Yota Tsuji. He has victories over Yuya Uemura, Bolton Oleg, Ryohei Oiwa, and Sonata, and has the one unfortunate loss to freaking Evil. But Yota Tsuji, clearly in control of the A block at the top spot. Looking good so far. But, as I said before, Don't sleep on Yuya Uemura, Bolton Oleg, Ryohei Oiwa, and unfortunately Evil. I mean, they're close. They're close. But right now, Yota Tsuji, the lone wolf at the top of the block, but still a lot left. All right, let's go ahead to the B block, and then after that, we'll go over the next upcoming matchups. All right, B block. Okay, for the B block, so sitting at the bottom and unfortunately eliminated, finishing with not a single victory, 0-9, no points, is the IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion Gabe Kidd. He only competed in one match, which was a loss to Konosuke Takeshita, but then unfortunately, due to injury, was day-to-day originally, but looked like his knee or whatever wasn't getting better. I don't know if it was knee or ankle. Somebody refresh my memory. But he ended up not being able to compete in the rest of the tournament and therefore forfeited the rest of his matches. So therefore, everybody in his block gets a forfeit victory over Gabe Kidd. And of course, he gave a speech. He gave a message. That looking forward to him recovering and him being better. So. I don't think there was a timetable on his return or whatnot, but get well soon, Gabe Kidd. Not sure if they're gonna have him vacate the title or what, but like I said, it's really gonna depend on how long he's out. That's really all I can say. But he is eliminated from this tournament. Okay, we have one competitor sitting at a record of 1-3 with 2 points, which honestly is very shocking, extremely shocking, and that's Shingo Takagi. Wow. So the one victory he has is the forfeit victory over Gabe Kidd. 3 losses to Yoshihashi, Great-O-Khan, and Konosuke Takeshita. Not looking good for the Rampage Dragon. But there's still time to come back. There's still time to make a big comeback, but he has to activate it ASAP. He's got to get on track. But, yeah. Shingo, only 2 points. All right, we have, let's see, two competitors right now with 4 points. They are El Phantasmo and Zack Sabre Jr. Let's take a look at Zack Sabre Jr. 2-2, 4 points. He has the forfeit victory over Gabe Kidd and the victory over El Phantasmo, but 2 very, very abnormal losses to Shota Umino and Ren Narita. So, Shota Umino got his win back. Got his Wrestle Kingdom 19 win back. But, oh man. Zack Sabre Jr., the current IWGP World Champion. Oh man, losing to Shota Umino and Ren Narita. Yikes. Ooh. That's not normal for Zack Sabre Jr., I'm just saying. Misfit says, kind of took your idea of the green for the win, red for the loss, yellow for the draw. Hey, it works. I stick by it. El Phantasmo, the current NJPW World Television Champion. 2-3 record. Got the 2 victories over Takeshita, the forfeit victory over Gabe Kidd, but 3 losses to Shota Umino, Zack Sabre Jr., and Ren Narita. Oof. Although the match against Zack Sabre Jr., that was a pretty solid match. ELP and Zack Sabre Jr., that was a really solid match. John Elite, welcome to the stream. Hopefully a speedy recovery for Gabe Kidd. Agreed. Okay. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 competitors with 6 points each. They are Shota Umino, Great-O-Khan, Drilla Maloney, and Konosuke Takeshita. All right, let's take a look at the Alpha, Konosuke Takeshita. 3-1 record, victories over Shingo Takagi, Great-O-Khan, the Gabe Kidd. Actually, the one match Gabe Kidd did compete. Takeshita beat him. 1 loss to El Phantasmo. So, good tournament so far for Takeshita. So, no surprise there. Especially considering somebody that made it to the playoffs last year. All right. A surprising one to many, Drilla Maloney is having a solid tournament. 3-1, 6 points. Has the 3 victories over Shota Umino, Great-O-Khan. Got the forfeit victory over Gabe Kidd. Has the 1 loss to Yoshihashi. But Drilla Maloney looking really good. Ever since he's moved to the heavyweight class, Drilla Maloney's been looking more and more like a threat. But hey, I can dig it. Okay. Let's look at the Great-O-Khan. Great-O-Khan has a 3-2 record. Victories over Yoshihashi, Shingo Takagi, the forfeit victory over Gabe Kidd, and 2 losses to Drilla Maloney and Konosuke Takeshita. That's another name to keep an eye out for, who also made the playoffs last year, which was kind of a surprise to many. But Great-O-Khan's looking to continue the success he had from last year. All right. And then we got Shota Umino at the top. 3-2 record, 6 points. Victories over El Phantasmo, Zack Sabre Jr., the forfeit victory over Gabe Kidd. 2 losses to Drilla Maloney and Ren Narita. And then we have 2, probably the 2 most unlikely to be on anybody's bingo card, that is sitting at the top of the B block. 4-1 records for the both of them. 8 points for the both of them. And they are Ren Narita and Yoshihashi. Oh my God. How the heck does that happen? Okay. Ren Narita from House of Torture. Ugh. Okay. 4 victories over Shota Umino, El Phantasmo, Zack Sabre Jr. The forfeit victory over Gabe Kidd. And had the 1 loss to Yoshihashi. But let's keep it real. You know there were a lot of shenanigans in those matches. You know it was. You know it was some mad shenanigans in those matches. Let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real. And then Yoshihashi. Also 4-1, 8 points. victories over Ren Narita, Drilla Maloney, Shingo Takagi, the forfeit victory over Gabe Kidd. His one loss was to Great Khan. The victory over Shingo, that was pretty impressive. That was actually really impressive. But I think it's going to eventually fall apart for either one of those two, Ren Narita, Yoshihashi. But then again, I mean, it would be kind of cool if Yoshihashi made the top three. It would be kind of cool. But I got a feeling that one of those two is going to just fall apart. Is going to really fall apart. But yeah, Ren Narita, Yoshihashi tied at the top. 8 points. It's crazy. Okay. Let's go back to the A block. Let's look at the next upcoming matches. So let's see. The next upcoming matches looks like will be on not until August 1st. August 1st. That's Friday. Okay, so they got a little nice break. Okay, they got a nice break. So Friday, August 1st. Let's see what we got. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Yuya Uemura. That should be good. That should be really good. Yota Tsuji versus Taichi. That should be hard hitting. That should be really hard hitting. Let's see. Bolton Oleg, David Finlay. That should be interesting. Ryohei Oiwa versus Evil. I'm hoping Ryohei can get the upset there. Callum Newman versus Sonata. That should be an interesting one. So, yeah, get some interesting next up matchups for the block A. But yeah, that Callum Newman Sonata one should be pretty interesting. But I definitely got to keep my eye out for Taichi Yota Tsuji. I'm expecting that. Who knows? Maybe that can main event August 1st. I don't know. Hopefully. Should be. Okay. B block upcoming matchups. So, let's see. B block. Okay, so they actually got matches July 30th. That's Thursday. So, Thursday, July 30th. Let's see what we got. Shota Umino versus Shingo Takagi. Shingo, you gotta win that, dude. Shoot. If Shingo loses to Shota Umino, that I don't know if he's gonna be able to come back after that. I'm just saying. Let's see. El Phantasmo versus Great Khan. Of course, that's a very familiar matchup, so they'll be clashing once again. See. Drilla Maloney versus Ren Narita. That should be an interesting matchup. Let's see. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Konosuke Takeshita. Oh, shoot. That should probably main event that show for the B block. That should main event. Zack Sabre Jr. Konosuke Takeshita. Heck yeah. Oh man, that's gonna be a good match. That's gonna be really good. So definitely got to keep an eye out on these. So B block is up next, July 30th, and then A block the following day on August 1st. But yeah, like I said, this has been a very interesting G1 Climax 35 tournament so far. And we're not done yet, but just, a couple of really head scratchers there, just seeing folks like Shingo, struggling, Tanahashi struggling a little bit, even Zack Sabre Jr. struggling. So, yeah, just out of the ordinary. But that's what happens. That's what happens sometimes. But, okay. So, that's still going strong. We also had 2 tournaments that kicked off this past weekend. So, I'm going to actually switch gears to TJPW with the Tokyo Princess Cup 12. So, we know all the qualifier tournament has already went through. Gus, welcome to the stream. Wasn't Gabe Kidd IWGP Global Champion? He still is. Unless, I don't know if he relinquished the title or not, but he still is. Okay, so the Tokyo Princess Cup 12 official tournament, now that the qualifier tournament has completed, the main tournament has kicked off. It actually started earlier this morning. So, got the bracket up. Let's look at the current standings. Here we go. Okay. So, first off, I want to say that going to the lower left side, unfortunately, due to sickness, illness, or whatnot, recently crowned International Princess Champion Mocha Miyamoto ended up not being able to compete. Therefore, Miyu Yamashita, her opponent, gets the forfeit victory and moves on to the next round. Really was a bummer, especially considering that Mocha Miyamoto just defeated Suzume to become the International Princess Champion at Summer Sun Princess. So, I really would have loved to have seen how she would have done against Miyu Yamashita. But we won't be seeing that this tournament. But speedy recovery for Mocha Miyamoto. She's one of my favorites in TJPW, and I was really happy that she won the title. So she's out of this tournament. Miyu Yamashita advances to the quarterfinals. So she will face the winner of Aris Endo Hyper Misao. So the winner between those two will take on Miyu Yamashita. Okay, let's go to the top, upper left. We had Miyu Watanabe against Raku, which was a very funny match. Very funny, filled with comedy match. And Raku made it interesting, but Miyu Watanabe defeated her fellow up girl and advances on to the next round, which, if y'all remember correctly, she got upset in I believe the first or the second round last year. So Miyu Watanabe trying to right their ship this time. But she defeats Raku, advances to the quarterfinals. So she will take on the winner of Himawari versus Haru Kazushiro. Okay. Let's go to the right side. Let's start from the bottom right. And we even started off the first round with a big ol' upset. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Wakana Uehara defeated former International Princess and Princess Tag Team Champ Suzume to advance to the quarterfinals. I mean, a huge upset victory. Things are starting off well for Wakana, but poor Suzume. Man, she loses her International Princess Championship to Mocha Miyamoto and then gets knocked out of the first round of the Tokyo Princess Cup tournament. Oof. Double ouch. But when it comes down to it, at some point, Suzume is going to challenge for the Princess of Princess Championship. And, you know, she is one belt away from Grand Slam status. So, hey, that can happen at any point. And then we had the Burning Venus versus the Popping Sugar Rabbit, which was Yuki Aino versus Mizuki. I was really hoping that Yuki Aino could possibly go on a similar run like she did last year, but that was not the case this time. She put up a great fight, but the Popping Sugar Rabbit put her away with a cutie special, and the Princess of Princess champion, Mizuki, advances to the quarterfinals. Dang. The Burning Venus went from finalists last year to getting eliminated in the first round this year. Oof, that's gotta hurt. Oh, man. It's a bummer. Okay, so Wakana will face the winner of Yuki Arai, Yuki Kamifuku. Oh shoot, that should be interesting. And then Mizuki will face the winner of Shoko Nakajima, Rika Tatsumi. So, speaking of which, you know, let's take a look at these remaining first round matchups. So, going over to the left, Himawari, Haru Kazushiro. This one could actually go either way. This one could go either way. I'm gonna be pulling for Himawari. I'm gonna definitely be pulling for Himawari. Okay. And then, let's see. Move down to the bottom. Aris Endo and Hyper Misao. Part of me wants Aris Endo to win this, mainly because, I mean, we just lost Suzume, which was her Daisy Monkey tag team partner. I think it would be cool to see Aris Endo win this. So you know what? I'm going to pick Aris Endo to beat Hyper Misao. I'm going to go for it. Okay. So top right, Shoko Nakajima versus Rika Tatsumi, the White Dragon. Oh, man. Well, of course, we know both Hyper Misao and Shoko Nakajima are the current Princess Tag Team Champs. Let's see, this match could go either way. What the heck? Shoko Nakajima. Although I wouldn't be mad if Rika Tatsumi won. I mean, I like them both. I've met them both. And then Yuki Arai versus Yuki Kamifuku. So Yuki versus Yuki. Double Yuki. See, this is where it gets interesting. Because I know a part of me could see Yuki Arai winning this tournament, but another part of me could see Kamiyu beat Yuki Arai and meet Wakana, her Uber Eats tag partner, in the quarterfinals. So I can kind of see either scenario. But you know what? I'm going to go Yuki Arai still. I'm going to go Yuki Arai to advance to the quarterfinals. But at least we will find out how these remaining first round matches go on August 2nd. That's Saturday. So, let's see. So, yeah. The remaining 4 first round matches will be on Saturday, August 2nd. So, yeah. Should be good. Should be really good. But like I said, a big big shout out to Wakana Uehara. That was a big upset. Her beating Suzume. That was huge. Um, who knows? That could be the biggest upset of the first round. So hey, we'll see. Only time will tell. All right. Now let's finish off by switching gears to the 5-Star Grand Prix. Now, as I get my spreadsheet open, I'll say this. So, I finally watched the entire show earlier this morning. It was like a little bit after 10ish or something like that. I'm going to say this. Now, don't get me wrong. Shout out to everybody that attended the 5-Star Grand Prix opening show. There were 17 matches total. One of them was a pre-show match. But there were 17 matches total for the show. I gotta keep it real with y'all, and y'all know I love pro wrestling, but that is way too many matches in one show. That's too many matches. Now, I know some folks would say, this was a scenario where everybody got to see their favorites compete, and that's fine. That's fine. I can understand that. But 17 matches? Like, not to mention, some of those matches were like super, super short. You know what I mean? And it's like, compared to if you break them out, like if they did day show and a night show, if you really space them out, break them out more, then each one could have a decent amount of time. It could be more entertaining. You know what I mean? Like, for crying out loud, one of the matches lasted 28 seconds. I'm just saying. Like, 17 matches in one show, that's too many. That's too many. That's too many. And I know this is coming from somebody that once went to 4 shows in one day. But 17 matches in one show is too much. Then again, going to 4 shows in one day is too much. Dang, I'm totally contradicting myself. I'm just now realizing I'm totally contradicting myself. But, it is what it is. Okay. So, the 5-Star Grand Prix opening happened early this morning. 17 total matches on this show. One of them was a pre-show match. But everybody got to compete. So, let's see how these opening standings went. Let's start from the top. Starting from the Red Stars A. Okay, Red Stars A. So, competitors eating a loss ended up being Hanan, Yuna Mizumori, Lady C, Waka Tsukiyama were your losers. Starting with the one that had the worst loss the whole entire show. Oh, Waka. Well, Waka Mania definitely wasn't a thing with this show because Waka lost to May Sarah in 28 seconds. So, yeah. 28 seconds. Oh, and by the way, Waka Tsukiyama is one half of the Stardom New Blood Tag Team Champions. And she lost in 28 seconds. Just I don't mean to, call out the elephant in the room, but I'm just, she She lost in 28 seconds. And she's a champion. I mean, yeah, she lost to another champion, but still. 28 seconds. Anyway. The first tournament match was Lady C, Saya Kamatani, but Lady C came up short, losing to the World of Stardom champion. But she put up a good fight. She put up a really good fight. Yuna Mizumori put up a decent fight against B. Priestley, but was not able to beat her. And then Hanan took a big loss to Azusa Inaba. That was, wow. That was big. That was really big. By the way, Azusa Inaba's theme music rocks. But those are your opening losers out of the Red Stars A block. Your winners: World of Stardom champion Saya Kamatani, High Speed champion Mei Sarah, Azusa Inaba, and the top gaijin B. Priestley. B. Priestley opened up her tournament with a victory over Yuna Mizumori. Was a good back and forth match. Especially enjoyed B. Priestley talking junk to Yuna Mizumori. But yeah, top gaijin off to a good start. Azusa Inaba from Hate off to a good start with a big victory over Hanan. So that's quite a way to jumpstart your tournament with a victory over a former tag champion and Cinderella tournament winner. It's crazy. Really, really crazy. Misfit says, Lady C showed some heel attitude. Yeah, she did. She did. She definitely did. Michael, welcome to the stream. GalaxyCon went smooth. Wrestling sweet. Busy. Busy on Saturday. Staying still in the main lobby. Atrium area. Walking so much. Going. Food trucks. You see. Next time I'll tell you the. Yeah. Glad you had fun. Glad you had fun. Mister says, I could be wrong and you can correct me on this, but Azusa might be the youngest person to not compete in the 5-star but win a match in the tournament. I think that's correct. I believe that's correct. But yeah, big victory, Azusa beating Hanan. And then Mei Sarah, as I mentioned, with Waka, beat Waka in 28 seconds. I mean, I guess I applaud the effort of Waka trying to go high speed with Mei Sarah, but it did not go well for her at all. At all. So, yeah. And then Saya Kamatani opening up with a victory over Lady C. She had the first match of the tournament, so hey, the top champ gets the first match, gets the first 2 points. So yeah, that's Red Stars A. Misfit says B. Priestley's last 5-star was 2019. That is correct. It's been a while, but looks like she hasn't lost a step, that's for sure. All right, Red Stars B. Red Stars B. So, opening up with losses. Starlight Kid, Azumi, Sayaka Kurara, Rion. So Rion lost to Rina. Let's see. Carrara lost to Poi. Azumi lost to Tora. Starlight Kid lost to Tomoka Inaba. Okay. And of course, your winners were Rina, Natsuko Tora, Tomoka Inaba, Natsupoi. I gotta be honest. So Natsupoi versus Sayaka Kurara was the main event. I don't know exactly why they went with that for their main event instead of Sari Konami. That was that was weird. That was weird. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sayaka Kurara and Natsupoi had a good match, but them having the main event spot was not on my bingo card. Just to keep it real. That was not on my bingo card. This it says, fun fact, outside of Isis, every other member of Hate won their matches clean. Yes. Starlight Kid, Tomoka Inaba was incredible. Can't wait for the rematch. Oh, you best believe there will be one. And I agree. Konami Sari should have main evented. I agree. I definitely agree. So, Rina and Rion was still pretty good. I have to say, Rina Rion was good. Tora beating Azumi, despite Azumi, getting the preemptive strike early. Oh, that had to hurt. That had to really hurt. So, oof. And, like I said, Natsupoi Sayaka Kurara was a good match. Kurara came close, but Natsupoi was able to beat her. But definitely the best match out of this block, Starlight Kid and Tomoka Inaba. An incredible exchange between the two of them, especially when it came to submissions, strikes, all of the above. And sure enough, Tomoka Inaba makes the double champ tap out. As in, from her promotion, Just Tap Out. She definitely made Starlight Kid just tap out. So, big victory there. Really big victory there. And I would say that definitely should open up a door for a future Wonder of Stardom championship opportunity for Tomoka Inaba. So, congratulations. Both Inaba sisters won their opening matches. Gotta love it. Azumi tried using hate tactics and it cost her. Yeah. I mean, well, sometimes you gotta try to do that. Sometimes you gotta try to do that. Every once in a while, it might not be a bad idea to try that, but you're right, it didn't work out for her in the end. But yeah. So Tomoka Inaba, Rina, Natsuko Tora, and Natsupoi get their victories out of Red Stars B. Okay. Blue Stars A. Okay. There was some good and there was some out of this Blue Stars A block of opening matches. Let's see. Misfit says, I wouldn't be against Tomoka beating Starlight Kid for the Wonder Belt. And Micah sounded like she was going to cry when the Inaba sisters won. Did they cut the camera on her for a moment? Oh, if they did, I must have missed it. But if so, hey, that's cool. Also, so glad to see Rina back. Yeah, Rina looked great. Yeah, I think they did the right thing letting her rest up for this tournament. Not taking any chances, just letting her rest up for this tournament. So, Blue Stars A. Shout out to Miyu Amasaki versus Yuria Hime. That was actually a pretty dang on good match. That was a good match. I was feeling that. Yuria Hime put up a decent fight, but Miyu was definitely winning that, and it definitely showed. Sari Ano versus Saya Ida was very entertaining. That was a pretty sick submission that Seriano locked in on Saya Ida. I mean, I've never seen that before. That was a pretty sick submission. And then, of course, shout out to my girl Ami Sourei picking up the victory over Aya Sakura. Although I will say, Aya Sakura put up a decent amount of offense against Ami Sourei. And she almost got the submission victory over her, but my girl Ami Sourei outpowered her, hit her with the Like a Thunderbolt. So I was really happy to see Ami Sourei pick up her first 2 points. Also, what the heck? Bozilla and Ruaka finished in a freaking double countout draw. You're kidding me. Out of all the matchups that could have ended in a freaking draw, it was Bozilla and Ruaka? Man, come on. Come on. That's just as bad as Waka losing in 28 seconds to May Sarah. Dang. Bozilla, how you... Well, I mean, yeah, it's better than a loss, but still. A draw with Ruaka? Being somebody like Bozilla? And you want to talk about hate tactics, or excuse me, House of Torture? Shoot, that felt more like House of Torture. Trying to tie Bozilla to the railing and have the other members of Hate hold her back with a chair. All that, and it still ended in a double count out draw. What the heck, man? What the heck? Mr. says they didn't wish they did. Mr. says I'm gonna make a bold prediction. Sari will lose in all her matches but one. Ooh, that's quite a gamble. That is quite a gamble. Like, honestly, I don't know if that would look right. Her being IWGP Women's Champion, I don't know about that. That would be a gigantic slap in Shuri's face if Sari turned around and lose all but one match in the tournament, being that she's the IWGP Women's Champion. That would not go well with a lot of people, including me. Okay, not all members of Hate can be loved by the crowd, which is true. That's true. Just, I don't know, man. I can't get behind Ruaka. Ruaka's just not that good to me. I hate to say it, but Ruaka's just not that good to me. I mean, she's still young, and that can change, but, yeah. Oh, dang, she'll lose to everybody except Momo Kogo? Dang, that's messed up. So, Miyu Amasaki, Sari Ano, Ami Sourei get the 2 points. Bozilla and Ruaka both get a point each. Still think that's messed up, but it is what it is. Okay, Blue Stars B. Blue Stars B. So, Momokogo, Hina, Rana Yagami, Sari were the losers. Hanako, Suzu Suzuki, Momo Watanabe, Konami were the winners, finishing with 2 points. Misfit says, Hate being the saviors of stardom was not on my 2025 bingo card, but I'm not complaining. you had told me this back in January, I would have thought you were crazy. See, I'm not. I can't say that I can jump on that boat just yet because them being the saviors of stardom would be so contradictory to their faction and their gimmick. Like that would just be really weird. Cause I mean, to keep it real, this was originally supposed to be a type of faction that like you wouldn't see them at meet and greets, and they would just wreak havoc everywhere. You know, so I don't know, for them to turn this new leaf like that, especially as a faction, would just really be contradictory to their name. That's why just the whole idea of them being baby faces, part of a faction called Hate, just it's like it's so it's just really contradictory. But crazier things have happened. So hey, it is what it is. But yeah. The Black Peach toured with the Peach Star. Peach on Peach. And we definitely got that. But you know, Momokogo put up a good fight though. She put up a good fight. She just as soon as she got soon as Momo got that chicken wing on her, it was it. She tapped out pretty immediately too. Um, Suzu Suzuki, Hina was actually a good back and forth match, and I thought Hina was gonna pull off the upset, but Suzu got that tequila shot and did her in. Hanako beating Rana Yagami. That was a pretty solid match. Sari Konami. Think definitely was the match that made the most noise out of the whole show. And I still agree, yes, this should have been the main event. But Konami not only beating Sari, but submitting her. Now, while she didn't tap out, she passed out. Still, it's a submission victory. Something you normally don't see happen to Sari. So, that was a statement, a ginormous statement making victory for Konami, who even after the match had given a shout out to Shuri saying that I have avenged you. That's big. And they were kind of at odds with each other. Which, by the way, Shuri was there backstage with her fellow God's Eye stablemates at the 5-Star Grand Prix opening. Just a FYI, she's posted about it. Mr. says, what was the deal with the ref being late? Oh, yeah, for the Suzu Hina match. I don't know. I don't know what that was all about. But it was funny seeing the camera cut on Suzu, tapping on her wrist like, hello, you're late. And she even gave him crap after the match. She's like, you are late. So, Suzu's hilarious. I'm so glad I got the chance to meet Suzu Suzuki. She is hilarious. But yeah, so Konami, Momo Watanabe, Suzu Suzuki, Hanako were your winners and pick up their 2 points. Now, the crazy thing, so count it up, y'all. That's 6 champions. 6 champions that have lost their opening matches. Let's go through it. 6 champions. So Waka Tsukiyama, that's 1. Let's see. Azumi, that's 2. Starlight Kid, that's 3. Sari, that's 4. Aya Sakura, that's 5. Hina, that's 6. So yeah, 6 champions lost their opening matches. That's crazy. That is crazy. Misfit says, I'm invested in this Hate versus Sari feud. It's only heating up. It's only just the beginning. Okay. And is it me, or did like a good 90% of the competitors all come out wearing new gear? There were a lot of ladies that came out with new gear this show. I want to say at least 90% of them came out with new gear. It's crazy. But, okay, next upcoming matches. All right, so Red Stars A. So their next matches looks like July 30th. So that's Thursday. That's this coming Thursday. Let's see what kind of matchups we have. Okay, we got Saya Kamatani versus Yuna Mizumori. Okay. Saya could go 2-0. Get 4 points after that. Hanan versus Waka Tsukiyama. I think Hanan should have that. May Sarah versus Lady C. I think May Sarah should have that. Ooh, I think this is a first time matchup here, ladies and gentlemen. Azusa Inaba versus B. Priestley. That should be really good. That should be really good. Azusa Inaba and B. Priestley. That's a first time matchup. Oh man, that should be exciting. That should be really exciting. Technically, all of Hate won their matches. Well, no, you forgot about Ruaka. That ended in a draw. Yeah, that ended in a draw. So almost all, but yeah, don't forget about Ruaka. But yeah, honestly, I'm gonna have my eyes on that Azusa Inaba versus B. Priestley. I'm gonna be locked in on that match because that's a first time matchup. That should be really good. So, I think that's the match to look out for coming up on the Red Stars A. Okay, Red Stars B. Red Stars B, which also has matches on July 30th. Let's see, Red Stars B. Starlight Kid versus Rion, which I figure Starlight Kid will get back on winning track with a victory there. Azumi versus Tomoka Inaba. Oh shoot. Oh, that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a really good one. Natsupoi versus Natsuko Tora. That should be a good one. Sayaka Karara versus Rina. Okay. Ooh. Got some interesting matchups for Red Stars B coming up on July 30th. But I think the one to definitely keep an eye on, Azumi Tomoka Inaba, for sure. For sure. I don't know. Tomoka might beat another champion. Shoot. She might beat another champion. Make Azumi tap out. Shoot. I don't know. I don't know. Tora and Natsupoi, which, you know, they're both coming off of wins. That should be good. Karara and Rion. Or excuse me, Karara and Rina, I'm sorry. But yeah, that should be some interesting matchups there. But yeah, Azumi Tomoka Inaba is the one to watch out for. Blue Stars A. Next matchups. Let's see. So their next matches will be on August 1st. So Friday, August 1st. Let's see. Miyu Amasaki versus Sari Ano. That should be really good. That'll be actually a good test for Miyu Amasaki. That should be a really good test for her. I mean, Tomoko almost went undefeated last year. Yeah, 5-star. I mean, she had a couple of draws as well, which, you know, I mean, that is true. And she made it to the playoffs. So Tomoka Inaba is very capable of making it to the playoffs this year, and right now, I don't know, with the looks of it, she could have a better record than she had last year. I mean, you know, opening up with a victory over Starlight Kid, that, you know, who's a double champion, that's big. Yeah, that's big. Okay, Miyu Amasaki, Sari Ano, that should be a good test for Miyu Amasaki. Ooh, Ami Sourei versus Saya Ida. Ooh. Oh, that should be interesting. That should be very interesting. Let's see. Aya Sakura versus Ruaka. I'm hoping Aya Sakura can win that one. I'm hoping. And Bozilla versus Yuria Hime. Well, I think definitely the match to look out for next for Blue Stars A, I'd have to say Saya Ida, Ami Sourei. Although Miyu Amasaki, Sari Ano should be very interesting. But I'm going to say the match to look out for, Saya Ida, Ami Sourei. Bozilla versus Yuria Hime. Oof. Ooh. Oof. Poor Yuria Hime. Would not want to be her. Would not want to be her. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And then Blue Stars B. Also August 1st for their next matchups. Okay, Blue Stars B, let's see. Oh, Suzu Suzuki versus Momo Kogo. Honestly, I'm actually very interested in that one. That's an intriguing matchup right there. Momo Kogo, Suzu Suzuki. Which, I'm not so sure those two have faced each other one-on-one before. Now that I think about it, I don't think they've ever faced each other one-on-one. Momo Kogo and Suzu Suzuki, I don't think that's happened yet. So, that should be interesting. Let's see. Let's see what else we got. Oh, snap. Momo Watanabe versus her stablemate Konami. Oh, shoot. Oh, man. That might actually be the match to look out for Blue Stars B. Oh, man. That's gonna be a banger right there. Let's see. Rana Yagami versus Sari. Well, both are coming off of losses, so have to see if Sari can get on track and get her first 2 points against Rana Yagami. But man, I definitely would say that the matchup to look out for out of Blue Stars B, definitely Momo Watanabe versus Konami. That should be really good. But oh man, very interesting start to this tournament. Very interesting start. But so Red Stars matches for A and B on July 30th. Blue Stars A and B matches August 1st. So got that to look forward to. So it looks like they're at least going to get a nice little break before the next set of 5-star Grand Prix matches. So at least that's good that they're going to get a nice little break there. Also, wanted to mention that Stardom has announced 2 brand new shows. 2 brand new shows. So, here, let me pull them up. Here we go. So, 2 new shows announced for Stardom. So, on September 6th, we have Stardom to the World 2025, which will take place at the Yokohama Budokan. And on November 3rd, Stardom Crimson Nightmare 2025, which will be at the Ottawar General Gymnasium, a venue that I've been to before. Very nice venue. So, yeah, 2 brand new shows, which I assume these will be pay-per-views. I assume that these will be pay-per-views. But Stardom to the World, beginning of September. Stardom Crimson Nightmare 2025, beginning of November. So, mark your calendars. September 6th, November 3rd. So, but yeah, I like the names. Stardom Crimson Nightmare. Stardom to the World. But yeah, should be good. Should be really good. But yeah, a loaded weekend of pro wrestling tournament matches in the books. And like I said, G1 Climax 35 still going strong. And we just started Tokyo Princess Cup 12 and the 5-star Grand Prix. Still a lot to see. A lot to see. A lot to gear up for. So, hope y'all have plenty of supplies. That's all I can say. And stay hungry. Stay hungry. But that'll do it for this live stream. Want to thank those that tuned in. And want to remind everybody to like, follow, comment, subscribe, all of the above. And those that are catching the archive of this later, let me know your thoughts on the current standings of the G1 Climax 35, Tokyo Princess Cup 12, 5-star Grand Prix 2025. What have been your favorite matches so far? Let me know your predictions for the next matches. Who do you think is going to win all 3 tournaments? So let me know who you think is going to win. Misfit says, Crimson Nightmare sounds like the perfect show, so hate to turn on Momo or Sari winning the red belt from Saya. Ooh, dang. That's bold. But, I mean, it's far out in advance, so, I mean, hey, you know, there's time to build to it. So, you never know. There's time to build to it. But yeah. Thank y'all so much for watching. And the rain has stopped. The storm has stopped. So, that's good. Anyway, I'm going to get here, chill, get ready for work tomorrow. Thank y'all so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed the live stream. For Blitzball Champ Gaming, my name is Jason Ingram. Happy pro wrestling. I will see y'all in the next video and our live stream.